Good afternoon. In this video, I'm going to be explaining the liar paradox. So, example 1, we're going to start out with a simple sentence. This sentence is false. You might know where this is going. We're going to have some fun with this. So, just like any other sentence, it's probably true, it's probably false. So, we're going to start with assuming this sentence is true. Assuming this sentence is true, what does that mean? It means what the sentence says is true. What does the sentence say? It says the sentence is false. So, that's true. The sentence is false. It is truly false. That's a true statement that it's false. So, that means that the sentence is false. If this sentence is true, the sentence is false. And that's where the paradox kind of comes into play. The last sentence might not have made sense. When you say, if this sentence is true, this sentence is false, it's kind of contradictory, but the steps are right here on your screen that this is 100% correct. So what if it's false? What if this sentence is false in itself? Well, what the sentence says is false. Well, the sentence says this sentence is false. That in itself is false. I know we're kind of throwing that term around a lot, but stay with me. So if it being false is false in itself, that means the sentence is actually true. The double falses cancel out, and we're left with the sentence being true. So, if this sentence is false, this sentence is true. So, to recap, if this sentence is true, the sentence is false. If this sentence is false, this sentence is true. So, when many people try to wrap their heads around this, they say, so it's both. It's both true and false. Well, not exactly, because while they can be both true and false, it is only one at a given time. So, for example, William has blue eyes. Okay, I can go up to William and see what his eye colors are. If they're either blue or something else, brown or green. But this new sentence, the sentence at the bottom, William has blue eyes, is either true or false. I can look and see if he has blue eyes or something else, if that's a true statement or a false statement. And because true and false are opposites of each other, something not being true means that it's false. Something not being false means that it's true. So, get this out of your way for you. So, really, it's both true and false. That's a debunked argument. So, just because it can be both false, that's true, that's false, it can only be one in one moment. Both is possible, but this can only be a true statement that's false or a false statement that's true. But does that always happen in any paradox? Well, no. In example 2, we're going to show you an example it can actually be both. Let's see if this interests you. This is really going to rattle your brain here. So sentence 1 says sentence 2 is true. Sentence 2 says sentence 1 is false. Alright, let's roll with this. So sentence 1. Let's say sentence 1 is true. So sentence 1 says sentence 2 is true. If sentence 1 is true, sentence 2 is true. Alright, so sentence 2 is true in this scenario. If sentence 2 is true, sentence 1 is false. Why? What does sentence 2 say? Read it out to yourself. It says sentence 1 is false. If sentence 2 is true, sentence 1 is false. Good? Well, what? This is the scenario of sentence 1 being true. So if sentence 1 is true, sentence 1 is false. It's both at the same time. Which in the last example, I said that they opposited each other. But in this scenario, sentence 1 has to be false if sentence 1 is true. That's where the paradox comes into play. Let's go the other route. Let's say sentence 1 is false. Well, if sentence 1 is false, sentence 2 is false. Why? Because like we said, if something's not true, it's false. There's no middle ground. If it's not true, it's false. If it's true, it's true. If it's not true, it's false. So sentence 2 is false if sentence 1 is false. If sentence 2 is false, sentence 2 says sentence 1 is false. But if that in itself is false, and again, there's no middle ground, if sentence 1 is not false, then what is it? Sentence 1 is true. So, again, here the paradox comes back into play. If sentence 1 is false, sentence 1 is true. Pretty interesting, huh? I actually like these examples a lot. I've read a couple other ones. It's not something I know a bunch about. It's pretty probably entry-level stuff. I encourage you to check out more. But I hope you had fun with that too. And don't worry. The purpose of a paradox is to do probably what's going around in your brain right now. The definition of a paradox is a seemingly absurd or self-contradictory statement or proposition that, when investigated or explained, may prove to be well-founded or true. So that's pretty much what happened back. If I can pull it up here. That's what happened. When you say if sentence 1 is true, sentence 1 is false, that makes no sense in our brains and how we go through our days. Usually sentences don't work like that. And the opposite, if sentence 1 is false, sentence 1 is true. If it's the same sentence, how can it be both that opposite each other? Well, that's what paradoxes do, and I feel like that's why they interest me, and I think they're very cool. Just step out of what we're used to accepting. A sentence either true or false. And I like these. They challenge your brain, and they force you to step out of your normal way of thinking. The sentence examples that we used were definitely self-contradictory, but when we broke them down, they made sense, even though they made no sense at the same time, if that makes sense to you at all. But that's what paradoxes do. The liar paradox is actually gets its name from, like, if I were to say, I'm lying. But if I'm lying right now, I'm telling the truth about lying. But so I'd be telling the truth, even though I'm talking about myself lying. But if I was lying, I'm actually telling the truth. Just opposites, kind of like in the first example. But in my opinion, these are very fun. I encourage you to check out more. Like I said, the reason why I enjoy them is that they boggle your mind and make no sense. But when you break them down step by step like we did, they actually make sense. Like this says, when you explain them, they turn out to be true. They turn out to be correct, even though they seem like, no, that can't be right. They're self-contradictory, but they're definitely true. I encourage you to search more about this. I could do a follow-up video if this is something that you guys like, but I just kept it simple. I don't really know a whole lot about this, but I thought I'd break them down for you in this video. I hope you enjoyed this, hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next video.